Welcome to today's live channeling of Anna, grandmother of Yeshua. My name is Salomé and I have been working as a channel for Anna for the last 5.5 years or so. I find her transmissions to be extremely liberating for how I inhabit this body and how I can work together with this body to open it to become the vessel or the temple for my essence, my light. So with Anna, we always speak about weaving light and matter. So this is what we do. We open the body, we open the cells, and we activate our DNA so that we can become the fullest embodiment of our light. And it can be woven together on our journey here on Earth. I have no title for today's life. I don't know what you will be talking about, but let us see if she would love to share some wisdom with us. Yes, of course, I would love to share some wisdom with you, although I can hardly say that what I have to share is wisdom indeed. It is more the energy of presence, of how to be present and what happens when you are present in your body and in your light. Because it's not just present in your body, it's also in your light. For many people, when a trigger arises and when the nervous system contracts and sends signals that we need to either freeze, or run, or fight, what is often said is to remain present in your body, present in the feeling. And this is all very well, and this is all very important if we want to open the body and use these triggers as this holy portal for our light to come shining in. But we also must invite presence of the light into our bodies. We cannot just be with the physical body, although it is very important, like I said, and like I will say many times again. You also must be present with your light. You must call in your light every single day. So at the start of the day, before you get out of bed, before you do anything, as you still lay there waking up, and bring your day consciousness into your body. So the night consciousness is slowly moving out. We can become present and awake and aware that we are awake. The first thing that I would love for you to do is to invite the presence of your light, of your essence into your body. And you do this like this, just laying there. You can have your hands laying next to you. The best would be to lay on your back so you can be fully in the posture of surrender. You can either have your hands beside you so you are fully open, or have your hands in your heart as a gesture of tenderness towards yourself and a gesture of gratitude and gratefulness for the fact that your heart is opening to be present. And you take a few deep breaths, just feeling into the energy of the day, the energy of your body. And then you breathe your light into your body. And with every breath you take, you may invite in this sense of gratitude, as if your body is saying thank you for opening for this light. And the light says thank you for receiving me so fully. So there's this beautiful mechanism where both of them feel extremely grateful to come together in this wonderful alchemy that is you in this incarnation. So last weekend, we got to speak at a convention, and we spoke into the codes in our DNA, which is a favorite topic of mine because there's so much gold to be mined in those codexes inside of your DNA. And in this convention, someone asked the question, if the DNA is the physical representation of the Akashic records? I would love to share more about this here as well, because no, it is not the representation of the Akashic records, but it is your earthly library that is very much connected to the Akashic records, but that works together with the Akashic records. The DNA is codexes that come from your ancestors, but what they describe is how you can be the expression of love on earth, how love wants to be expressed through you, through your body, through your being, through your essence. But it connects to the Akashic records because that's the part of the Akashic records that you take with you during this lifetime. However, the Akashic records has a vast amount of information that spans many, many lifetimes and many, many aeons and star systems and wherever you have been. We do not need all of that information for this body to function. It might be nice to remember some of it so we can apply it, but the DNA is the expression of love here on earth. However, since most of the DNA right now is still covered in dust and called junk DNA, while it actually carries the treasures that you can bring into this life and can bring into creation and can bring into fruition, the second that you start re-informing your nervous system, like we talked about last time, and the nervous system informs about these new flows of energy, and the nervous system registers the receiving of love, then the DNA starts to be shaken and the dust falls off and those parts can become active. But once they become active, then they start cooperating with this information source that is lying there in the Akashic records. And when it does this, what essentially happens is that the DNA becomes almost translucent. It becomes this golden portal into a much wider source of information. So where before you would only have the earthly information that your ancestors embodied and learned and applied, there is a very big multidimensional counterpart of that information. And once you really activate this and choose to be a vessel of love and choose to be present both in your body and in your light, it becomes translucent and it becomes a portal through which you can access this field of information about this specific code that you have just activated. And then those codes are different for everyone. And in the next few weeks, I would love to focus on specific codes that are present in everyone and really activate them. But for today, we have a general picture that we are creating for you. So there is a broader understanding of what is happening in your DNA. So let me say this again. The DNA becomes translucent and this golden light comes streaming in. Now we can block that because the nervous system might not yet be ready to fully receive this, but bit by bit, we allow it to enter. And what happens then is that this light that comes trickling in through this beautiful portal of this translucent codex in your DNA, the DNA evolves and the DNA is lifted to a higher level of consciousness, of creation. So where before you may have been able to work with plants and feel the plants in your body, or you have this intuition about plant life, the more you allow this light to come in, the more these plants start to transform into something almost alchemical. And you work with the spirit of the plant and with all the dimensions of the plant, and you start seeing the connection between plant life and human life and how we may support each other. And it becomes this field of really conscious co-creation with the earth and with plants, and a deeper activation of the medicine that you might take in. So this specific bit of information is a beautiful example, which is a code that's present in many, many healers or many, many herbalists. So those who feel an attraction to working with plants often have this code in them that tells them how to intuitively connect with the plants and really communicate with the plants. Whether you are ready to activate this higher potential of this code in your DNA is also depending on your soul and how far you are on that journey, but also on your nervous system and how much you have allowed your nervous system become more flexible. Because that is really the key with the nervous system. We don't need it to be relaxed and safe all the time, because you live on Earth and things happen, and sometimes you need it on high alert because you need to run for a wolf, although that doesn't happen that often anymore in modern society. The key is to become aware and allow it to become flexible. And the more you allow this flexibility in the way you process information, the more also your DNA is able to open and start becoming aware of the codexes, the codes, the talents and gifts that it might embody. The more you leave the shadow frequency and go into the gift frequency, and then the gift is lifted up into this pure expression of love here on Earth. Isn't that beautiful? And all of that in your own body. It is just right there. It's in your own body. So this is what I love to share with you, this awareness of the beauty that you hold in your own body. It is not a prison. It is a vessel of love. It is a vessel of love. And as such, we may live. So let us breathe in. Let us breathe in. This sensation of expectation. Let us breathe in the awareness of our pure potentiality that is lying here within our DNA. Let us open our hearts with joy to receive the golden codes that we carry inside and that may be activated by being present in our light as well as in our body. Let us celebrate this age of visibility where all the darkness and all the mud, the emotional mud that is still covering your potentiality, is coming out to the surface to be gently lifted off and taken away, transformed by the light of your presence. Just feeling what that awareness does in your body and how you may relate to it. Knowing there is no need to think you are stuck, because there is no such thing as being stuck. There's always a step you might take. So let's just breathe in and allow ourselves to spin directions until the right step forwards, the right step carried in the heart of love, opens in your awareness. And also know that if you have not yet found that step, the pure fact that you are allowing yourself to make that turn and to look in all directions is in fact a step forward, because you are already moving. You are already moving. You are already informing your body, your DNA, that it is looking for a way to embody the light more deeply. And this already brings movement into the healing of your body. The intention to become the expression of love, to be the expression of love, to live as the expression of love, is already creating change and healing, even if you don't feel like you are moving forward. You are, because you are present in your body and in your light. Many, many blessings on your journey, and I hope we meet again next week. Thank you, Anna, for this beautiful boost, and I can feel my heart opening and vibrating, knowing there's only more love that wants to be expressed. So if you resonated with this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. And also, I would love to share Anna's words in more spaces. So if there's any convention that you know of, or any online happening where you feel Anna might give a good contribution to the energy and the wisdom that wants to be shared there, let me know, and I would love to bring her words into the fields. Many blessings.